Hello all my merry makers, I am Becca and welcome to another Merry Making Monday. Merry Making Mondays are all about tutorials, me teaching you how to make something, either knit or crochet related. And I forgot to say, welcome to everyone, whether you're new or returning, thanks for hanging out. This week we will be continuing in the Yarnspirations pattern for well, I thought I had the top line here, but I don't. It's for Brioche Cable knit hat. I'm not affiliated with Yarnspirations, but I do have permissions to do this tutorial as long as I accredit them with the pattern and provide links to the pattern. So without further ado, we are going to be doing rows 22, 23, 24. I have to double check my, yep, 24, and then starting over again at round 1. Let's begin. And like always, this is not only my row counter, but my wonderful editing tool. Helps me with my videos, makes it a lot easier to edit them. Alright. And ooh, in case you want to look for this pattern yourself, there is the actual code, and as of course I will be providing a link in the description box below. Oh my goodness, this is what happens when you go on vacation and then you come back and you can't figure out where the heck you are. We're actually going to be starting on row 23. Row 23 is a knit row. Which means for this round we will be knitting. We will be knitting, for me, I will be knitting with the pink, alright, what's going on here? Okay, I still have to slip the last stitch of row 22. Okay. Now that we've got our ducks in a row. Alright. So row 23 is a regular brioche knit row where you knit 2 together, bring your yarn front, slip, bring your yarn back around your needle so that it creates a loop on your needle so that you can knit 2 together again. And you're going to be doing that all the way around. I will see you at the beginning of round stitch marker. Alright, so row 24 marks the end of where the pattern stops, basically. I'm gonna put a little mark here before I continue. It says these 24 rounds for the Brioche Cable pattern. Repeat first to 22nd rounds of the Brioche Cable pattern once more. So, I'm gonna put a little star here. Now, I've said it before, if you want to just go back and rewatch the videos that I made before so that you don't have to wait for the repeats, that is fine. Just realize that you might be waiting a while for the walkthrough for the crown. Alright, without further ado, row 24 is just a regular round, I believe. Yes. Alright. So, it is a purl row. For me and my pattern, that means, or in this project, that means I will be purling with the white. You have the yarn front. You slip the first stitch with the yarn in front. Put the yarn around the needle to create the loop. Bring the yarn back to the front so that you can purl two together. I'll show you that again. Yarn front, slip the stitch purlwise with the yarn in front, the yarn around the needle to create a second loop, back to the front so that you can purl two together. And you're going to do that all the way around. And I'll meet you there. Alright, so in case you have the printout with you, when we're talking about row 1, we're not talking about down here where it says setup. That's the setup. We're talking about this row round right here where it says begin working brioche cable pattern. Alright? And that, of course, is a knit row that we will be doing in the pink. Alright. Slip my beginning around stitch marker. Alright. So it reads, knit two together, yarn front, slip stitch purlwise with yarn in front. Now, it says double brioche decrease. Now, the best way I have found to do this stitch is you slip these stitches as if you're going to knit them, then you slip this stitch as if you're going to knit them. Now, then you knit these two together, basically. Now you take your left needle and you grab all three of those stitches that you slipped and you pass them back over the stitch that you knit. And the reason you do that is so that the color work lays so that it looks like it's connected. Alright? Then you bring your yarn in front and slip the stitch purlwise with the yarn in front. Now it says to knit two together and slip the stitch 5 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and then you start the repeat over again, where you knit two together and then slip the next stitch. Then you start your brioche double decrease. Slip these two stitches as if to knit, slip this stitch as if to knit. Actually knit this stitch, then grab all three of these and pass them back over. And then you slip the next stitch with yarn in front purlwise, and then you just knit two together and slip 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, Alright, and you're going to do that all the way around until you hit your beginning around stitch marker. I'll meet you there. Gotta make a little tick mark. A couple more rounds and we'll be changing colors again. Alright, so round 2. This is the one of the few places where you will see that it is spelled out, the purl row for you. You slip the first stitch purlwise with the yarn in front. Then you take your yarn and take it around the needle to create a second loop. Bring it back front so that you can purl these two together. And even though this is your decrease, you're going to do the same thing. It's just, you treat it just like a regular knit. You're going to slip it with the yarn purlwise with the yarn in front, put the round needle so it creates a second loop. Bring it back front so you can purl two together. And you're going to do that all the way around until you hit this beginning around a stitch marker. I'll meet you there. So we're coming to the end of the purl row, and I like to show you this from time to time just as a little reminder. When you get to the last stitch of the purl row, your contrasting color, if you're doing it like the pattern suggests, it's just going to be flapping in the wind. So it might not be on your needle at all. So you need to make sure it is on your needle. I like to kind of wrap it to the back so that it kind of looks like a regular stitch. And then make sure that you're purling those last two together. Might even have to yank on this a little bit to tighten it up. But there you go. So I really hope you enjoyed this week's tutorial in the knitted pattern for Yarnspirations, the Brioche. I don't know why I can't get that out today. Anyway, so tomorrow what I am hoping to do is put out an abridged version of this tutorial. Basically, it will focus on the stitches themselves and how to do them. That is going to be geared towards people who are familiar with knitting in the round and familiar with reading written patterns, which I know some of us aren't. So if that is not you, I totally get it. But I know there's might be some of you that might be sitting through these step-by-step tutorials bored out of your mind. So there we go. And then I really hope that you will join us for what you're working on Wednesday. In the meantime, please like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, share with your friend, comment below, and make what makes you merry. Ciao.